Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Live 605. I've said to myself, I've got to stop calling it that. People have also said that to me as well. Anywho, this is Virtual Coffee with Con, episode 2. I'm your host, Con Kazantzidis, aka Shave the Man. Thank you for joining us on what promises to be a wonderful live. They're always wonderful. But this one in particular is one that I've been looking forward to. Why? Because we're going to share some stories about journeys to wet shaving, and you'll be pleased to hear that for once it's not another male. It's the wonderful Abby, which I will introduce to you officially soon. If you're new to this particular format or show, type in new down below, and that will help us to identify you. What we've done is we've opened up this whole live thing now. You can, if you're interested in joining us on the live, just type in I'm in as well. We're streaming live through my particular personal profile, through the Stray Whisker page on Facebook, and believe it or not, through Shave the Man YouTube and the Stray Whisker TV YouTube channel. We're going to be syndicated through NBN, CBC, all the national networks. The ABC, we're going through to Channel 9, Channel 7, Channel 10, is that still a thing? Channel 10, they're still there? I wish. Anyway, I'm having my coffee. This is a virtual coffee. It's for those of you that are interested, it's a doppio, which means a double shot short black. I've decided to stay away from milk for the last 30 years or so. Just once you've had black, you never go back. I love it, and it's just one of those things. Well, without further ado, allow me to introduce the wonderful Abby Daly. She'll tell us about how it all came to be that she's found herself on this particular live, because it really is a remarkable story. But before we do that, I have to get into interview mode. Look at that. Interview mode, which means stuff's getting real. Hi, Paul. Afternoon. Nice to see you. And it is also nice to have Abby with us. Abby, how are you?
I'm wonderful, Con. How are you going?
Look, I haven't seen the sun shine brighter, Abby. It's wonderful. Spring has sprung, okay? It's the first of the month. It's spring. I have a coffee in my hand. Actually, I should really take a sip. Are you a coffee drinker, Abby?
Unfortunately, I don't like coffee, Con. Or tea. I know. I'm one of those people.
You do realise this is called Virtual Coffee with Con, don't you?
Yeah, but I have a virtual coffee in my hand. You just virtually can't see it.
Well, you virtually pulled that one out of the fire, didn't you? Well, generally, you could be drinking any other beverage, I guess. If you're not going to drink a coffee or a tea, you could have some other beverage. Is there another beverage there that you're consuming currently?
Well, there was meant to be a beverage, but the beverage got left on the kitchen bench because my dog decided to start barking at a random person. So I had to go fix that.
And what was that beverage, if you don't mind me asking?
That was a Moscato.
Oh, okay. A virtual vino with Con, is it? Why not? I mean, I guess it's Yeah, it's wine o'clock. It's always wine o'clock. It's always wine o'clock. Well, Abby, it's wonderful to have you. It's an honour to have you on the show. Perhaps you can tell us in one sentence or less. Do you like what I do there? You don't be able to do it in one sentence or less.
No.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and how it was that you came to the journey that is wet shaving. How did it all start for you?
Oh, wow. Well, you are actually my client. So I work at Optus Business, Greater Western Sydney, and I came into your store and I originally thought that it was a pet store because of the name of it. I soon realised it was the most wonderful looking barber, shaving, equipment store I've ever been to. And we had a good hour and a half discussion about the fact that I have been using razors wrong my entire life.
Did you just say you thought it was a pet store?
I did.
A pet store?
Yeah, I did.
I shouldn't act surprised, actually. We've had a number of people asking if we were a pet grooming store. So pet store is up there, I guess, with all the rest of it. Yes, indeed, we met as you came in one day. It was an unsolicited visit. You came in and left with razors. Isn't that great?
Yes. A pink razor, to be exact.
Yeah, pink Edwin Jagger. I remember it well. Are you enjoying that, by the way? Of course you are.
I love it. Yeah, it's changed my entire shaving game completely. So thank you for that.
No, thank you. I mean, it's always good when people come across to look. I know people use cartridge razors and plastic and all the rest of it, but you know, it's always good when you hear of these stories where people come across and start to use traditional shaving means. Oh, we've got Leon that's watching on YouTube. Hello, Leon. Nice of you to join us this afternoon. Pranav from India. Yes, I wonder what time it is in India at the moment. Greetings to Con and Abby. Yes, I wonder what time. Can you let us know? Maybe you can type in and let us know exactly what time it is there. I have no idea what time it would be, what time it would be there in India. Okay, so we don't want to go on and on about this. What are you selling up there? Hey, we're selling all the good stuff, Leon. We're selling all the good stuff, you know. It's just, Father Christmas. Hello, Dario. Nice of you to join us from sunny Sydney. It's beautiful. The weather is beautiful at the moment. It's just incredible. 10:40 a.m. in India. There you go. And it's, 3:08 in here. So good morning. Yes, good morning to you too, sir. Well, I'm pleased. I'm actually pleased that you've made the transition across to that. I mean, it was a funny afternoon. I remember you came in, you said, "Look, how are you going? What is it that you do here? I can see that this is a wonderful store." And I said, "Guess what? We do lives," because you had you had your company logo. And I thought, "We do lives." And I said, "Well, I can help you." And let me tell you, it's been fantastic ever since. I mean, we're really, really pleased with how things are going. You can see that the stream is wonderful. Make sure you don't drop out though, Abby.
Yeah, no, I'm not running on that business grade internet. That's wonderful that you have. So if I do drop out, I'm sorry.
Well, if you drop out, you can complain to just dial the there's a hotline you can dial and you can tell them to fix things for you. Look. As I say, I mean, it's one of those things. So you transitioned across to wet shaving. Have you told others about it? That's what I want to know.
Oh, I've told everyone. I like all of my girlfriends. I'm like, seriously, like it's a complete game changer. I'm like, you need to go buy one. And then they ask me about like what the benefits of it is, and I tell them, and they're like, okay, I'll do it. And a couple of my girlfriends have done it, and they love it. Seriously, it's a complete game changer for the shaving game, I guess.
Yeah. Look, I know, I mean, some people are sort of resistant to it. I mean, people are resistant to all sorts of things, Abby, as you know. But sometimes they say, no, not really. It's too sharp. It'll cut me. It'll this, it'll that. I've had people come back and say they've had arguments in the house where, bring me back my razor. I want my razor. I bought this for myself and my wife is using it. Or the wife says, I bought it for myself and now my husband wants one and all the rest of it. That's a good story. And I'm pleased that that's sort of worked out for you. So tell me, you're working in telecommunications. So now would be a particularly busy time for you guys, I would imagine, with most people housebound or at least doing a lot of their work from home and from home offices. Has it been kind of crazy? I mean, has it been as crazy as I think it might have or may be?
Honestly, it's been kind of in the middle because I feel like because of last time when COVID became a thing, people became aware they need to have the right telecommunications for their house. They need to be able to work from home or anywhere in the world. So they've already kind of set it all up. Although there is those businesses that didn't do it and are really struggling to find the right solution. So in that sort of aspect, yeah, we are a bit busy. We're not as busy as what I would have thought we would be. So, yeah.
Or as you would like to be?
I would like to be, yeah. I'd like to be busier. Don't tell my boss that. He'll end up throwing more work at me.
He might be watching this live, Abby. He may actually be watching it. You never know. I
can send him
know
a link.
Leon's watching it because he's got a question.
Oh, look, not as fast as the red ones, Leon. Not as fast as the red ones.
Yeah. Ferrari red. We have Ferrari Ferrari red razors. Yeah, but what's in a colour there, Leon? Look, James. James has joined us. Dr. Love, yes. I'm finding it increasingly difficult to live up to that name, my friend, James. I just, Dr. Love, I am in need of love, as we all are, in particular these days, but I don't know that... speaking of love, have you noticed that there's a bit... I mean, it's a segue into the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about, which is this sort of toxic environment that we know exists online and particularly in social media. But have you noticed that are people down? Are they really positive about how things are going in the world? And what's been your experience, Abby?
Well, I speak to a lot of businesses, so everyone's. It really depends on who it is. Like I've got some businesses that are just dealing with things. They've pivoted their business to be okay,
Yeah.
And then there's other businesses that have completely had to shut down, and their entire livelihood's gone. So it's a bit of both, but I think really deep down, everyone's really not okay. We're just trying to put on a brave face to be okay.
Well, that is a perfect segue to the whole brave face thing. I was speaking with you. Oh, look, weather is beautiful, absolutely stunning. Shame we're under house arrest. Hope you and the family are well, mate. Yes, it is kind of house arrest. I know things down in Sydney are a little bit more difficult. Up here in the Blue Mountains, there are lockdown measures that are taking place, but they're not as anywhere near as stringent, and the police presence and all the rest of it to ensure that people are sticking to the health orders is a little bit more pronounced and a bit more visible down there, I would imagine. Look, it is what it is. I guess got to do what you got to do. Abby, now you're a young lady, and this is and I just thought I'd run this by. What are you laughing at?
I just like being called young. That's all.
Well, you are. You're younger than me. That'll do. So I've noticed of late, and it's not only of late, I mean, it's been around for a while through things like Snapchat and that, where people are almost have this sort of pathological distaste for what they really look like when they're online, and they want to put on these sort of filters and stickers, and I won't call them a mask, it's not really a mask, but it's like a filter that smooths out the skin, removes the wrinkles, does all those things that to try and make you feel better about yourself, or make you look hotter, or make you look like you're some Hollywood star. Is this something that people in your generation, listen to me, I'm sounding like an old fuddy-duddy, but is it something that people in your generation have embraced, they're doing a lot more of, or what is it? What have you found?
Oh yeah, Con. Honestly, I really think it comes down to all these influencers who, like, especially the beauty ones, who put a filter on their skin and then do a makeup routine and talk about their skincare, but they don't really advise that they have a filter on their face. So you're not gonna look like that in real life, regardless of how well you look after your skin. And
Right.
I think that's the problem. And then you've got things like Snapchat where I'm really bad for it. I don't ever post a Snapchat without putting a filter on because I just think that I look better with a filter on.
Well, Dario thinks that I look really cool with the beard. He says I look like a hot Hollywood star. And this isn't even a filter, it's just the real beard. Look, I have been stopped for autographs from people. People have actually come up to me, thrown themselves at me, and said, I can't go on without you, Con. Can I please have your autograph? Just your autograph. That would be enough for me. I could live off that for the rest of my life, just having your autograph. And I said, go away. I'm beating people away with a stick because this face does it all without the use of filters or filtration. Take out filters. Yeah, look, it's interesting. There's a name for this. I mean, I actually looked this up and I thought, I love a name. I love knowing what these things are called and whatever. And there have been studies. In fact, there was a study done at Harvard University and they gave it the name Zoom dysmorphia. And of course, Zoom refers to the online meeting platform. And I think Microsoft does, is it Microsoft Meetings or something like that?
Microsoft Teams.
Teams. Then there's Skype. Of course, there's Zoom. And there's this phenomenon called Zoom dysmorphia. And basically, dysmorphia is when there are parts of either your body or your face that you're not entirely happy with. And it makes perfect sense. If you're sitting there doing Zoom meetings all day, you're looking at your face in a very artificial setting. And what this particular study that came out of Harvard found was that young people, and it's mostly young people, and I have to say it's mostly young ladies that are doing this, although men have done this as well. As they're coming out of lockdown, and particularly in the United States and other places around the world where they're coming out of lockdown, they're visiting cosmetic surgeons, plastic surgeons, or whatever you want to call them, and asking to have their nose reduced or have their wrinkles removed or get the crow's feet out of the way. Or they've noticed that while they were doing a particular Zoom, they could see their jowls, or they looked older than they wanted to look, or their colour wasn't quite right. I mean, you can do things with colour, I guess, with the technology. But yeah, it's quite alarming that I remember when people would go into you'd often hear about people turning up to a cosmetic or a plastic surgeon and saying, with a magazine cut out and saying, I want to look like Scarlett Johansson. Can you do this? And the practitioner would say, look, you don't have the bone structure. It's going to cost you 50 grand plus. I don't know. It's a little bit unrealistic. Maybe we should be a little bit more realistic. So this Zoom dysmorphia then is actually, they did a study, I think it was about 7,000, just over 7,000 people, and they found that they all experience this feeling of not being happy with how you look. Without giving, I don't want you to tell me about anyone, but have you heard of this, of friends of yours or acquaintances or people that aren't happy with how they look on Zoom and on all these sorts of things and want to do something about it?
Yeah, definitely. And it's not something that's just been happening recently. It's been happening for years, but I don't think there's been a name for it until this whole lockdown sort of thing happened and people actually started researching it and were like, oh, okay, there's an actual name for this. But dysmorphia is happening everywhere. It happens when you look in the mirror and you see something and it's actually not, it's just what you're seeing, because the way you actually look is completely different to how you see yourself. How someone else sees you is completely different to how you see yourself. So you shouldn't be judging yourself based on how you see you. You should be judging yourself on how you feel. That's what I think anyway.
You make a great point. I mean, when we see ourselves in the mirror, we're seeing a flipped image. It's not how the world sees us. And if you're sitting there doing these lives, although this live doesn't make you feel that way, I'm sure, Abby, if you're doing these Zoom meetings or these lives, then you can see how people would... Okay, so I have a confession. Once this happens, this live happens, I never go back to it again. I don't want to see it again.
Why?
Now, if I did want to see it again, I mean, you'd be justified in calling me a lovo or something like that, or look at you, you think you're unreal, you think you're pretty hot and you want to watch this video over and over again. It's not that. I think once it's been done, it's gone. But I suspect that I probably don't look at it again because I might be less than satisfied with what I'm seeing in myself, right? I might say, yeah, I don't know, Con, time to give up. You've got a great face for radio. Stick to radio or podcasts or something. Don't do these videos. You're really you're destroying people's lunch or dinner or wherever it is. Then when they're watching this thing, they're probably
Oh, come on.
Oh, I
You
know. I
shouldn't
don't
feel
really feel
like that.
So, but I feel what I feel is that I actually investigated the whole filter thing and put myself through some filtration. Abby, I put myself through some really amazing filters, and I thought, yeah, look, that looks exactly like me. So what I thought I would do is I'd share it with everyone. There's the sort of steely blue. Remember that movie, Zoolander? The Zoolander. Have you seen Zoolander?
I have, yes.
Oh, so you're not that young. Oh, good. Okay.
Oh,
No, you are. Look, no, I know. But I mentioned Zoolander, and people either know it or they don't. Very, very funny film. And of course, he was poking fun at the whole industry, the whole fashion industry, the modelling industry, the image industry. So I tried a Zoolander look. Then I sort of thought, no, maybe I should apply some mascara, Abby. This is all through filtration, of course. I wouldn't have the time to put real mascara on. And then I sort of thought, well, maybe I'd look cute with a rabbit nose or something. So this was the result. I just thought, why don't I just go a bit Zoolander-y and and see how that looks?
you look like Alex Perry.
Do you like that?
I love it.
Hmm?
I reckon you should dye your hair pink.
Yeah, well, the middle one there I've actually dyed it a sort of a mauve colour, and then the little bunny rabbit thing. Maybe I should get that off. People don't want to see that. Anyway, but after those filters, I felt really good. I felt amazing, like really amazing. I felt like I should, head over to LA or something.
And get some bunny ears.
Yes. Now, David James says there are not enough filters to fix his noggin. He says he's tried all the filters available, and he says nothing can help him. But look, I don't think I need filters. I just think it's the truth. We need the truth. There's nothing I can do to fix my. Yeah, you know what? It's very interesting, Eric. I'm glad you said that. We got Eric's comment there again. This reminded me of a quote I heard, and I can't remember where I heard it. Eric says, "There's nothing I can do to fix my face." There's also a quote I heard that says, "My face is none of my business. You're the one that's got to look at it, not me. I'm not looking at my face. Like, I'm now looking at you and you're looking at me, but I can't see my face unless I actually look at the monitor and I think, oh, okay, there it is. Yeah, I can see my face. But if you're not looking at your face every day, others are looking at it, right? So get over it. I mean, it doesn't, whatever. I mean, really? My face is not my problem. It's the people that have to face it. It's their thing. Yes, we are definitely our own worst critics.
Yeah,
it's a problem.
I agree.
It's a problem. And I find that with people across all ages. I mean, admittedly, it sort of tapers off after a certain age. People don't care how they look. But I would imagine in business, it would be something that's kind of, and as I said, this sort of very, thank you, Matt. Yes, look, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Look, I'm going to keep this beard for a little while longer, and then I'll have to get rid of it because I enjoy shaving too much. But which one's the filter? Yeah, I don't know. What do you reckon? It's mighty fine. I think mighty fine. I really like that. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Let's get rid of that. There's only so much people can tolerate. Oh, he took screenshots. Oh no, Pranav. Oh, that's creepy. You took screenshots? Don't worry. Okay. Please don't sell them without a fee, of course. You can sell them if you like, but you can send over the royalties to yours truly. Look, there is a serious side to this. If people are thinking that they don't like how they look on Zoom calls and they want to then run off and go to cosmetic surgeons or plastic surgeons, whatever they're called in your neck of the woods, that's an issue because obviously these cosmetic surgeons need to they go through an interview process and they speak to the person. They say, look, why is it that you think you need a nose job? Why is it that you think you need to have a lift? Why is it this? Why is it that? There's obviously an interview process that occurs, but yeah, look, I don't know. I mean, I just think it's I have to say men probably think about it a little less. I'm not saying that men don't think about it at all, but I would imagine that guys are fairly with it all. I would think it's harder for ladies, even in the yes. I agree with you, James. I think it probably is harder for ladies. What do you think, Abby?
Oh, look,
Do you think it
especially
is harder for
now.
ladies?
Yeah, well, it depends really. Like I feel like especially right now in lockdown, like women, we're used to getting our eyebrows done and our hair done and our eyelashes done. So right now we're complete natural, and the only thing we have is a filter. Whereas like sometimes if you've got all that done, you don't really need a filter because you feel really good about how you look. But I know guys that do very similar stuff. Like I know guys that get their eyebrows done and get their hair done, and currently they're using filters because that makes them feel better about themselves. So I wouldn't gender specific it. And
Oh,
here's Con
yeah.
doing his eyebrows.
Well, oh, you caught me there. Sorry. Gender specific, yes, of course. I wouldn't know. No way. Absolutely not. No way. Look, yeah, but I'm intrigued that the filter has been kind of normalised now. It's completely normal.
Definitely.
Like there's no, it doesn't even raise a fake eyebrow. It's kind of people are just it is what it is.
Yeah, people are just so used to, especially Snapchat. Like Snapchat's and Instagram are the biggest ones for filters. It is kind of sad, to be honest, because we should be loving ourselves in how we look, not how a filter makes us look or makes us feel.
Do you feel better with filters?
Personally, yes, but to be honest, lockdown has actually made me really love myself because I'm el natural,
Yeah,
even my brows,
yeah.
everything. So you're going to have to love yourself or you're going to be depressed. So, yeah.
So in a corporate setting, then what you're telling me is that you would have to put in additional effort if you're going out to see a client or something. Yeah. So you've got to dress up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, get my hair done, have my eyelashes done,
Yeah.
my eyebrows, a little bit of makeup.
Yeah. Are you speaking to clients on Zoom and in these on these platforms? Or is
Yeah,
it mainly
a
just
lot.
telephone?
No, it's a bit of both. Mainly Zoom, actually, at this during lockdown. But and you know what? Like I look at myself on Zooms and I say, well, I don't really look like that in the mirror. And then I think about it, but I'm like, oh, but then again, I don't look like this in general,
Right.
so it doesn't matter.
Right. Do you think, and this is a very, very broad, we're going to paint with very broad brushstrokes here. Do you think society expects you to look a certain way? You, Abby Daly, do you think you do?
Yeah, I definitely do, especially being in the position that I am within my business. I feel like I'm expected to look professional no matter what. And that comes to having your hair always done, having makeup on,
Yeah.
always wearing very nice clothes. And realistically, you can't always do that.
Is it stated? Is there a? Is it explicitly stated to you, or is it just kind of an unspoken, unwritten, said thing? Is it just something we know you have to do, or is it has someone pulled you aside and say, "Listen, you got to lift your game," or you got not that you have to. Abby, look, you don't have to lift your game, okay? But what I'm saying is, have people suggested that you need to present in a certain way?
So no one's actually said it to me, but it is a very unspoken rule. So for example, I actually seen something on LinkedIn the other day where a guy was saying how someone said that his socks looked unprofessional because he was wearing no-show socks. And then there was a whole conversation about what type of socks you should wear when you go meet a customer. And I know people that wear crazy socks when they meet customers because who's actually looking at your socks? They want to wear those socks because they want to wear them socks, so they should be able to. They shouldn't have to feel like they have to change their socks because someone's not going to like them or they're not going to get a deal because of it.
That's quite interesting. Look, there are guidelines. I think I mean, if you're going to turn up, for example, you wouldn't turn up to a meeting with a client barefoot or in sweatpants, or it's just not. I don't think the company would want you to do that. But regardless of how comfortable you are with the client, there are certain parameters and certain things that are expected of you, I guess, and
Definitely
project a certain thing. Part of the ethos of the company. Eric has just said something here. He's just put that comment up. He's done business coaching for several years, and I often teach entrepreneurs to focus on the professionalism of their appearance and not their looks. Don't worry about your looks. Just worry about the professionalism of your appearance and the elements that they can control. That's a very good point, actually. Yeah. We're all different. We all look different. Not everyone is as hot as me. I mean, they're not all hot, okay? I mean, just look at me. Hot. H-O-T, all in capitals, capitalized. But, and I transcend all forms of coaching. All of this is a joke, of course, and wishful thinking on my part. Look, it's interesting. It's very interesting. Paul says, the beauty of job, I'm expected to be eccentric looking and professional is not essential. Yeah, okay. So Paul is a bookseller. I hope you don't mind me saying that, Paul. Yeah, I guess, eccentricity. I mean, look, when I speak to people, they say, oh, you're in your costume, this is the uniform, or is it part of your get-up? It's part of the costume that you wear. I think it also helps with confidence. That the client, the people that you deal with need to be confident that the advice that you're offering or what you're helping them with is straight down the line. It is one of those things. Not with a client, but I have a culture that is fine with you. Oh, thank you, James. Look, I'm blushing here now. This is why I have sort of redder cheeks, more than usual. Look, yes, so the concept, I'll just throw it up again in case you're wondering. Now, Desi, okay, after the first lockdown, so we asked to put together a Zoom ready package. So hair, tinted face, waxed eyebrows and eyelashes, tinted and facial clients concentrated more on their hair and face. Interesting. So Desi works in the industry that makes people look beautiful, right? So she'll do facials, she'll eyelash tints, everything, the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle. Eyebrows, does the whole thing. And so she's actually put together a Zoom ready package. That's fantastic.
I love that.
It's good, isn't it?
I would definitely take up that package.
Yeah. So that's amazing, because what you're doing there is you're saying, look, I know that you're not in your normal work environment. I know that you might have meetings. Why not have them and look absolutely spectacular? That's great, Desi. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, that's like dinners. Coming through, you need a dinner, here you go. You don't have to worry about dinner when you're at home. Doing a Zoom tomorrow, you don't have to think about it. We've done all the thinking for you. These are the products that you're going to need for your Zoom meeting, and you're going to look fabulous. Wow, that's incredible. Thanks for that, Des. I really appreciate you sharing that with us. When you're at work, you present the company, not your personal self. Yes, John, yes, that's right. You're not
That's
really...
very true.
Yeah, that's true. And I guess this is why I don't know if the United States has, if this is a thing in the United States, but here in Australia, there are schools that require the students to wear the uniform. It's the homogenizing effect, making everyone the same. You're representing the school, you're representing the school's ethos, what the school stands for, and all the rest of it. If you wear a uniform, kids hate uniforms because they'd rather come in, wear whatever they wear, mufti day or whatever. But the uniform brings them all in line and says, look, you belong to this organisation, or you are a member of this organisation. And I guess that's probably one of the reasons why. Now James says, he wants to know, you're fine as you are.
Oh, thanks, James.
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel that way, so it's really nice.
She's oozing intelligence. I know. It's just coming out. That's wonderful. I think it's because Abby is real. She's real. And this is one of the reasons she was able to help us in our business, because she came through. There was no rubbish. She just straight cut to the core. Oh, okay. Ah,
My boyfriend's going to read this and be like, okay.
James is in the US of A, I have to say, so he's got nothing to worry
Oh,
about.
you're
From the
safe.
US of A, that is. I was talking about me. Oh, he was talking about me, not
Oh,
you. Well,
oh,
oh, good,
that's fine,
okay.
James.
I'm glad he was talking about me. There you go. Um, Leon says he's a retired minister of religion, have full tattooed arms. Was it? Was it? Yeah. Wow.
I love that. See,
Yeah.
I think tattoos, if I was to walk in with tattoos, everywhere, people would just kind of be like, I don't really want to buy something from you. And it's probably not everyone. It's probably just some people that still have that sort of view on tattoos, which is quite sad because tattoos are really nice.
You like tattoos, huh?
I
Look,
love tattoos.
I'd show you mine, but I would have to take off my shoes.
Oh, do you have a tattoo on your foot?
No, I'd have to remove this. I'm in a jumpsuit, Abby. I'm wearing a jumpsuit. In fact, I could parachute with this on. I could parachute. I've got so much volume. There's so much fabric here that I would soften any landing. Well, this has been a lot of fun, hasn't it? Let me throw up that
Yeah.
word. People want to know. They're saying, what's that word? Zoom dysmorphia. It's a thing. It's the Zoom boom. People are wanting to know how they can look their best when they're on Zoom. It's all well and good throwing up these things. You and I had a discussion off air about what we can do to help people with some of these things, and what are some of the things that, and you from your professional, your day-to-day life at work and all the rest of it, and how we can help people. And we'll go quickly through some strategies, and then I think we'll end it there because there are people that want autographs. Abby, I'm sorry. Okay.
People want mine after this con, so that's fine.
Will
I
they?
understand. I'm sure.
Look,
Hopefully.
you're picking up some of the shine. That's all it is. That's all it is. Anyway, I'm gonna let's get to this. I'm gonna show you a few things, and maybe you can talk us through these. These are some of the strategies that I think are very important. So you've got to be realistic when it comes to using these filters and looking at how you look online. Just be realistic about these things. Don't expect to look like this. Guy on the left there, he's pretty amazing, I know, but you've just got to be realistic about these things. Okay. Perhaps you can talk to us about the second one, the inventory of self-worth, Abby.
Yeah, so I think you need to not look at yourself through eyes of someone who doesn't see what you're worth, and just look at how you are actually worth to yourself. It's very important that you're taking time out to actually do things that make you happy, because if you're doing things that are making you happy, like going on social media for 6 hours a day and looking at influencers, and these people have all of these edited photos that you would have no idea about, and then comparing yourself to them, don't do it. Just go look at yourself, tell yourself you're beautiful, go eat some cake and have a day.
I like it.
Yeah.
Go and eat some cake.
Yeah.
Look, I've been eating a little bit of cake lately, so but that's okay. That's okay. The other one, of course, is don't go there. If you think that it might upset you a little bit, and what I mean by that is, if you think that putting on filters and putting on airs and graces for the camera or whatever is going to upset you, just don't go there. Try not to use these filters. Try not to participate in this sort of stuff. Have fun, that's great, but it might be something that you could, just don't go there. I think that would be definitely a thing that I would. Cake with con.
I love that.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
the next one, of course.
Give yourself a break.
Yep.
Definitely take some time away from social media. I myself am, I would say I'm probably addicted to social media, to be completely honest. And I have taken a lot of time away from it. And the way I feel about the world and myself and even like my friends has completely changed, because when you start getting so involved in social media, you kind of lose reality, because the things you're seeing, they're not really happening. They're just what someone's posting. Someone could put that they're in, they're $1 million person, and they're in, I don't know, where's an expensive place, the Maldives, and they're living their best life, and they're probably at their home in their bed just sharing a random photo, and they're actually worth $1. So give yourself a break.
Yes, I have to agree with you. And finally, I would say just be a little more discerning and curate your feed. I've had to remove myself from several social media groups and things like that because I just found that it was weighing me down. I've got enough weight here to deal with. I don't need to be weighed down by things that I'm reading on social media. If something upsets you or you don't agree with someone's opinion or whatever it is, just quietly remove yourself from it. You don't need to make a song and dance. It was like a guy that, he you'll like this. He basically sort of said, "Oh, I hate this group. I'm leaving. I'm leaving the group." Right? That's it. I'm so upset with this group. I'm leaving. And the response, of course, was, "We're not an airport. You don't have to announce your departure. Just go. Go. Don't like it? Go. This is not an airport.
I love that.
We don't need to hear about your departure. Leave. If you don't like it, leave." Curate. That's the most important thing, I think. And just take stock. Be kind to yourself. Love yourself. And just, it's important. And James, he's thanking you, Abby. You see, that's so sweet. Thank you, James. Really appreciate your comments. Also, I think Nathan was on there too, talking about uniforms. I think uniforms may homogenise, but it's amazing to see how people can and will always find ways to express themselves in the guidelines. Absolutely agree with that 100%. Yep. I mean,
Nathan, you got the same last name as me. That's very random.
Hey, hang on, bring out. Yes, Nathan Daly. Are you related to Abby Daly? I'm wondering. Hey, look at that. There you go. Wow.
Crazy.
Well, and these two Dailies are really, really amazing. I really love both Dailies. They're great people. We're all for a school with a nice uniform. Makes you feel as if they're to be worried about the appearance of the children. They're more likely to be worried about the child's education. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, look, substance, I guess, over everything else. Well, I think we've done pretty well this afternoon, don't you, Abby?
Yes, this has been wonderful.
It's been really, really cool. You must come back and see us in about 15 years when filters. No, I'm joking. John, the old saying, "If nobody else loves me, I do." Need to like yourself, imperfections and all, and of course, don't hate me because I'm wonderful. That's right.
I love that.
Love it. Thank you, John. Thanks for your contribution. Thanks to all it's incredible. We're getting all these people now, and I can't even go through all these comments. There's all these comments here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to everyone that's contributed this afternoon. Great chat. Thanks, Abby and Con. Thank you. Abby, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate having you on this crazy live. Of course, we do this every Wednesday at this time until we get out of lockdown. Then I'll go back to the 6:05 format, but it seems to be working. I know a lot of people are at home. I know you're obviously at home. So I really appreciate you joining us this afternoon, Abby.
Thank you for having me. It's been absolutely wonderful to just take some time out and do something that's not, work.
You can't say that.
I love my job.
Yes. We all love our jobs. Okay, folks. Well, that's it from us. Goodbye, and we'll see you in the next live. Thanks for watching.